Shit. One sec, guys. We'll get started here in a sec. Let's get everything set up. Oh, man. All right, we're good to go. Good to go. Good to go. Oh, dude, my back, man. My back has been killing me. Back has been killing me. Where's the interest music? I already drank my coffee. Already got everything made this morning. I was up pretty early this morning, actually. Where are you at? There it is. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so if you don't know, basically this morning and last night, you had, China's kicking up. So China announced a 84% tariff on an additional 84% tariff on U.S. goods. So I would assume we retaliate. And then they asked about what's on the table regarding tariffs and the trade war. Basically said removing Chinese stocks is on the table potentially. We'll see. Yeah. So pretty interesting where we're at. Not good. Kind of dropped. I think when that news was announced that China added those tariffs, you dropped from like 17.3 down to 17,000 instantly. So where we're at right now, we'll see how we open up. I am assuming more downside here personally. We need to also see the reaction from the market from this. So we'll see, but I'm assuming more downside. Below 16.9, I'm looking pretty aggressively at the downside, though. I mean, you can see that you're kind of holding here right now on the 5 and the 1. Like, you're holding that 16.97 area, give or take, but I don't think it's going to hold up for that long. So we'll see. So if you lose this, probably down to like 16.85 and then 16.7. What I'd be looking at. Let me read some questions real quick. Don't forget market bottom. Don't forget market bottoms on bad news. Time the bottom. Let me know how it goes. Good morning. Hey, good morning. Technically, are you open up? Where'd you close at yesterday? That's a good question. I don't know if you're, in theory, opening up red. I guess you are. Yeah, market closed like right here, so you're opening up. What is today? It is Wednesday, right? Yeah. This just seems wrong. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But yeah, it's about right here where market closed. Give or take, you bounced into the day. So, technically you're opening up red, but nothing that crazy. You could easily bounce back through this. There's no reason to get, like I said, get crazy on it. But I will say I am aiming for us to break down still. I'm looking for the downside, but just stay on top of the key level right now. Coffee's in my hand. Top 3 Mag 7, in your opinion? I talk about them in every video, so go crazy. I think NVIDIA's top dog right now, but I think the Chinese tariffs, I don't really know what Apple's going to do to get around these Chinese tariffs, so I don't know. The fact that Trump said that he thinks China can make the iPhones in America, I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah. I still think Apple's a. I mean, if it keeps dropping, like if it gets close to 150, I'm like, dude, like that, what a steal, right? I like Nvidia a lot. Obviously, I'd like to see it do more. I mean, the 80 to 88, 87 right here was pretty crazy. So we'll see. I think Amazon's really cheap as well. I think Google's dirt cheap. Yeah, I mean, back 7 wise. Now you're good. You're good. 80, 18.1. Yeah, 18.1 was a big level. I mean, I was talking about it on WAP with Discord. I was like, guys, like, this is like, I was like, you cannot be going long here. I was like, you cannot. Like, you've got to see. And I told Discord, like, at market open, I was like, look, in order for you to get bullish, like, guys, you got to be really clear about what you're looking for here. Like, you don't want to see a 5 minute candle. You want to see, like, at least, at the very least, an hourly candle above 18.1. And like, look at the candle that you're potentially making here on the like. This is the weekly, so you still have 2 days left. Well, 3 days, including today. But like, just not a good candle so far. The daily looks really bad too. You know what I mean? So you're just really setting up for not ideal movement here, right? So, and then on top of that, too, you go to like more of like some of the ETFs, like semiconductors retesting previous, very similar chart as Nasdaq retesting those April, August lows. Like, I mean, really just not a good look at all. So that's the concern with me right now, at least. So, yeah. And then you go to Qs, like, man, like, dude, I'm telling you, like, highly likely we come down to 400 today on Qs, in my opinion. I mean, you're at 409. It's a $9 move to the downside. I think it's incredibly likely we get the retest of previous all-time highs from 2021. I think it's the most likely scenario right now, personally. So I'd be looking at that. I mean, SPY, you still have like, you're at 487 pre-market. So like $30 to go. So, I mean, that's a little bit less likely. But, I mean, you're holding below your previous low here from last April. I mean, again, like, it's just clear as day. Like, the levels of where you're at now are really clear. Like, this was a pretty nasty hold below August lows, but now you're getting the hold. If you get the push and break below April lows and you get a daily close below that, again, I just like, I'm like, man, you're just stair stepping. Like, you're not stair stepping down because like you're obviously going straight down, but it's like you're bouncing and then you're just getting stuck below major points, which is almost worse than going straight down. If we're just going straight down, at least you're making areas of like pretty big illiquidity, right? So, you know, a good example, right? So if we go back here, right? This is still a weekly chart. So if you look back in August or July of last year, right? You have that pretty volatile drop to the downside, but when you bounce, you move back in like 2 weeks, right? Because it's pretty illiquid, right? Now, again, this is still pretty liquid how we're moving down, so I want to make that really clear. But I mean, even like yesterday, you honestly, me and Jay were talking about it. Like the fact that you didn't bounce more aggressively above like 18.1 was kind of like it was kind of jarring because you had nothing. You really had nothing till like 18.5, and then like almost 19K on NQ. So the fact that you didn't bounce was terrible. Like it just showed you that you were in an area to where you had no business like struggling, right? You had no business creating like even though this was highs from yesterday off the fake news or whatever from yesterday, I don't care. Like you still had nothing. Like at least an 18.5. So the fact that you were sort of grinding up wasn't a good look. Sometimes grinding up can be okay. Like don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't. It was bad. It was bad movement. So, anyways, my thoughts. But it's cool now because like again, like when I'm going over it live, people like you kind of get to see the logic of like why and what I'm thinking about. Because sometimes it's hard, like if you just hear me talking about it. But if you get to see like what I'm looking on the chart, what's giving me confirmation, I think it's a lot more clear. I expected more downside from the China tariff news, maybe when market opens. I mean, the market literally dropped from the China tariff news. China announced an 84% tariff. You dropped 400 points to the downside within 10 minutes. So, I don't know. Again, you're on it. Again, I don't know if we just choose to ignore. I think people. I really do think people just choose to like put like it goes in one ear and out the other. I think that's like how people like generally like. Yeah, it makes sense. Like if you think about it too, like why traders lose so much money and why the stats are so bad that like 99% of traders are like gonna lose all their money. Makes logical sense. Makes total logical sense. Like if you just sit here and chat and like listen to people just ignore everything, it makes so much sense. So yeah. I mean, would you expect 1,000 point drop immediately? Like, again, we're kind of getting conditioned too for like crazy movement. It's another big thing right now. But yeah, so far, trying to lose the level. We'll see. We will see. Really don't have much. You have a little bit there, like 18.5, 16.85. Sorry. Nvidia and AVGO are major supports, like I've been saying. So again, if you just watch the YouTube videos, go off, King. Go off. Go off. Yeah, AVGO at 140. 140 is a huge support, like massive. Like, yeah, it's a huge level. It's probably, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the equivalent, but it's pretty similar to the support you had here at 182. Yeah, it's very similar to this level. So, I mean, if you lose 142, you're probably going to drop down to 130, 125 pretty quick. So, yeah. Is it really like 95%? It's like 99%. It's like 99%. I mean, just look at, what do you mean? Like, I'm not being sarcastic. Like, just look at like traders online. Look at people who comment here. Like, just if you read what people say, like it's clear. Like if they're losing money or making money, it's very clear. If someone asks the same question 30 different times, I'm just saying they might be losing money. If someone's like getting mad that you don't agree with their thesis, it's probably because they're losing money on the other side of the trade and you're not agreeing with them and giving them confirmation bias. I mean, I'm just saying, like, so the signs are there. But yeah, NQ, dude, NQ does not look good. Does not look good. Reddit came down to support too, like 80. Reddit, what a trade here, on Reddit that we mentioned so many times. Right down into that gap fill, pretty beautiful. Tesla's pretty trash here, man. Like, I'm not a huge fan. Like, Tesla might come down to like 200. You have a support like a 212, I think, too. But like, I'm not a huge fan of Tesla anymore. Like, we've talked a lot about it. I mean, you're sitting at support. I think you're gonna lose it, to be honest. But yeah, it doesn't look that great. What do you think about Bitcoin and tariffs? I'm surprised Bitcoin's not down more. I thought Bitcoin would be down more. I mean, you're at 76K. You went down to our level, like 74K. I mean, that was our level that we had marked out. So you lose that. I mean, I think sellers probably get more aggressive on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's probably a really good buy, though, to be honest. Long dated, like, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, you lose 74K here. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. I will tell you that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this slow NQ grind. I'll tell you that, though. I will tell you that. I'm not a fan of that shit. Just rip the Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? Rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get to work. Still like an hour to market open, too. It's the depressing part. Too much golden rhino. Amen, brother. What's going on, Drake? Good to have you, man. Good to have you. Might stop the stream early today, to be honest. I don't know what time. Maybe like 8 o'clock we'll get off. But yeah, Amazon's still dipping. I mean, this is the concerning part too. When you go like to the daily and you go to zoom out further, it's like, dude, like, I mean, Amazon, this is your 2021 highs, 188. Look how much weakness you've developed on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, pretty bad. I mean, your next low. I mean, dude, you don't have much. Pretty illiquid move to the upside here. I mean, I'd be targeting like 155 here on Amazon. I think Amazon's actually one of the better buys too, long term, which is hilarious with how you're moving. But yeah, but Meta too. Meta was probably one of the better trades we called out yesterday as well in Discord, dude. Phenomenal when you got back below 539. Dude, that shit went straight down as well. Jesus Christ. What's the best way to protect yourself from headline news? I can't predict news. So I have no idea. Don't over leverage. Set stops. Bada bing, bada boom. ARM still dropping to ARM was a pretty bearish name we had out there too. Look at that rejection off of 94, dude. Yeah, look at that rejection on the weekly. This is on the weekly as well. I'd be probably looking closer to 78. I think ARM is going to be a great longer term buy, but problem is this is like a kind of a China name. Would be considered a China name though. Yeah. Top watch though is going to be Nvidia here at like 96, 98. If you continue to flip this level, that's what I've been watching too. I mean, Apple as well, but yeah, if you continue to flip this level, holding back underneath, like 96, 98, dude, it's going to get bad. You'll start dropping close to 90 again, and you'll drop deeper. It'll be gross. It'll be bad. I think Apple's been one of the biggest leaders. I mean, the Apple breakdown yesterday is really what led to like the big drop. Like once you started breaking these lows here, like 175, you just started rolling over as the whole market did. So yeah. Again, Apple watching it here. I mean, Apple, your next levels. People keep asking me. I'm like, dude, it's kind of not great. I mean, 164 probably, like 163. It's the big level I'd be watching. I don't even want to bring up my 200 weekly. I'm just like scared to even look at it, to be honest. It's like one of the more depressing things to even look at. And then after that, you have 150. 155 is a pretty major level down here. That is a pretty major spot. 154, 155. So we'll see. We have a little bit before that, 164, 165. So we'll see. I don't know. You guys like I don't really like not being it's gonna sound rude however. I don't really like compliments, to be honest. I don't know how to react to them, so it's okay. We just talk about stocks. ES too, you can see here, you're just kind of holding this little higher low trend, which I don't think it's gonna hold for long. Watching that as well. Start breaking back down. Again, dude, like some of the ES chart too, you zoom out, like, dude, like it's pretty bad. Your unadjusted chart. I mean, unadjusted, you're looking for like, I mean, you've already kind of hit it, 48.13. Yeah. Next level is down here, 46.33. That's a big level. That is a big level right there. Let's go back to adjusted and see where it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's got some distance still there too. Any thoughts on NQ downside setups, or is it too early? Maybe selling fake news, fake pumps like yesterday. I mean, in order to get really bearish on NQ, like, be totally honest with you, you got to break lows here. Like, unless you, like, you know, caught, I mean, if you're in Discord, you saw the levels, you know what we're looking for. I mean, last night, you had a pretty great opportunity. I mean, even this morning at 6 a.m., you retested 117, 17.17. You rejected at 17.32 all night last night. So, I mean, Discord, you had the levels. So, now I'd be looking for a break below, like, 16.76 down into lows and then a break below that. But I mean, you got some ways to go for that. So, yeah. Good morning. What are your thoughts on Netflix? I've been pretty Netflix, we hit a monster. We hit a lick on Netflix yesterday. Yeah, so Netflix was traded this both ways yesterday. So bright and early, this yesterday morning in Discord. Where's it at? Jamie Dimon. He said the recession is here. The recession is here. So I traded this 2 times, but Jay went pretty crazy in the second half of the day, which is funny. Jay usually doesn't trade a lot in the second half of the day. So I traded Netflix to start the day, over 912, looking at for 920, like basically right there, and then 926 is target 2. So I was live when we went over this, and so you hit target 1, I was like, dude, I wouldn't be aggressive, like especially with NQ the way it was moving. And so then after that, I was like, well, the second trade I'll give to everyone. So I posted and traded OD Technicals. I just basically said, but break below 900, break and retest back into 900. You're looking for 888, and you have 872. Yeah. So you ended up breaking, you retested, and then you shot down to 888, and you shot down to 872. You ended up dropping down to 860. But yeah, so Netflix was pretty great. I'd be careful. I mean, you have the 824 level, 800. I mean, under 900, you look pretty weak, but this is a pretty choppy area where you're at right now. Hold below 850. I think 820 is pretty likely. 824. and then 810, but you still have your 200 daily moving average, so it's definitely not the weakest name out there, I'll say. But it was a pretty great trade yesterday. Pretty solid. I think Meta and Netflix are probably the best stocks for downside yesterday. Yeah, look at the 5-minute candle you're putting in here too. I kind of shouldn't watch Nasdaq here. Like I'm telling you, Nasdaq's been literally printing. Like I'm telling you right now, like I've had some good option trades here and there, but like the money making opportunity has been futures. Like I mean, like literally too. Like it's not even just me. Like just like Discord, I finally like have been like getting people to buy into the mentality of like futures and making money there. Like bro, they're just like been these are all futures. And that's Robinhood, but like you can see like how they're trading. Like it's crazy. So futures have been the big opportunity, right? How will these tariffs affect LeBron's legacy? LeBron. Can't stand LeBron. I can't stand that guy. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well, man. So, but this is the problem right now. Like, I mean, you're under your level. I don't even like the short here just because you're just kind of ranging back. And it's pre-market. Give me market open. Get a little bit more aggressive. Also, remember if you're in starter playing in Discord on Wednesdays, we do. You can hop into the live stream. So, yeah. So it's not just for premium access on Wednesdays. On every other day, it's premium access only. But yeah. Also, like addressing this thing someone said earlier. Like again, this might be bad. Like people might not like my takes, and that's okay. That is okay. But I'll make something real clear here, right here. This little sentence right here. Right, we need a tough mentor and leader. I'm not a mentor. I'm not a leader. I am, in theory, I am like a TV show or radio station. You turn the TV on. I tell you my opinion. Do what you want with that opinion, right? Tell you as factual as, if I'm wrong about something, I'll come back the next day and admit I was wrong. But, yeah, do what you got to do. I am not a mentor. I don't even consider myself a mentor for anyone in Discord. Unless you in lifetime. Then, yeah, I am because I'm fucking talking to you so much. But I'm telling you right now, if anything, I'm a glorified indicator. Fed minutes, I don't care. I don't care about Fed minutes. You guys have been wondering about Fed minutes for the past fucking 2 years, and you haven't learned that Fed minutes are literally just okay. Let me explain to you what Fed minutes are. Again, because it seems like we don't understand. Imagine Trump gives a speech. Okay, Trump gets on stage. He announces some crazy tariff news. Yada yada yada. This is the tariffs, right? They go into effect that same day. They're already in effect, and then 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, whatever it may be, a document gets released of everything that Trump said. That's all it is. There's no new news. Nothing else changes. It's just a document. That's what it is. So yeah. I just don't want to be a mentor. I just don't want to. I'm just here for a good time, you know what I mean? Going down probably, Beamer Streamer. I like that guy. Beamer Streamer, he said, no thoughts, no ideas. He said, we're probably just going down, though. He said, I've lost all my money. My 401k is looking like a 4K. I'm probably not going to be able to go see the Minecraft movie this weekend. I'm going to have to wait for it to go to the Dollar Theater or Redbox. And, yeah, that's my opinion. I think we're going down. Yeah. Thank you for your fucking opinion. I really needed that one. Guys, also, too, please don't post what you think. I don't care what you think. You don't care what I think, to be honest. You care about a factual-based opinion. That's what you guys care about. Can I go off? Can I explain something with rationale? That's what you care about. Nah, I made 1K yesterday. Okay, Burger King, go outside, touch grass. He said, I made 1K yesterday. He said, down 30, made one. Goddamn Burger King over here. Yeah, but this is where you're at. You're looking pretty tough right now. I'm waiting for the drop, to be honest. But yeah. Redbox, bro. Shout out to Redbox. Bro, you remember the Red Box? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I had four brothers and a sister. Well, technically two sisters, but yeah. Anyways, dude, yeah. McDonald's and fucking Red Box, that was a good Saturday night. No, you look pretty decent for the drop here. Where's Dow at? So honestly, so if someone asked me like about Dow is actually the worst looking index right now. So Dow, yeah, dude, Dow's hot. Dow is hot. Dow. What does Bobby Shmurda say? Dow's a hot one. Dow's a hot one. Yeah, I would. Problem is you don't have a lot. Like you don't have nothing to really target here on Dow, unless you're targeting like 35K. Like that's crazy. You can't target that. Maybe like 35.7. See, this is why I haven't really been mentioning Dow, is because you're just in this giant like block, right? Even if you go to unadjusted, it's still not the prettiest. I mean, you could target 35.8. You really could, especially if you hold below this level here, your previous all-time high, right? You hold below that, you look really good. You look, I mean, pretty crystal clear for like 35.9, which is like 1,000 points. Don't get me wrong. It's just tough. It's tough, but Dow, like whenever you consolidate, that's when you get really good opportunities on shorting YM and Dow. You kind of will notice that, like if you're in Discord or you're on Twitter or whatever. I won't mention them all the time. I won't. So, like Nasdaq, you're gonna get good. You're gonna typically get good movement, like consistently on Nasdaq, day in and day out. It's just highly likely if anything's gonna move, right? But Dow is gonna give you really clean movement from like certain points and certain levels. So, I mean, it makes sense. And I said this too. I told Jay a while back. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, like, if anything respects levels, like anything really respects, it's Dow. Like Dow, yeah, pretty amazing. So yeah, Dow, like you break this, I mean, clear as day, it's a massive level. Like, I mean, there's no question about it, right? So you can see. Why isn't it saving my level? Dow, I didn't mark it. Shit. So you even have a little bit 36.3, but like still, it's a massive 600 point drop to 36.3 too. So, anyways, you start breaking this, you're gonna drop. It's gonna be nasty. So yeah, dude, gross. It's like when Dow was. Remember when it was up here, like at 41K, and then the 200 SMA, dude, it was just disgusting. Like it went straight down. So I'd be watching Dow below 36.85 today. Could get gross. Shout out to manufacturing. But I really can't believe Donald Trump went on stage yesterday. He was like, yeah, I think we can manufacture all those iPhones in America. Bro, Tim Cook probably shit a brick. He was probably like, what are you talking about, Donald? What are you manufacture? They're like, who's gonna do the best part is they go, well, who's gonna do all these manufacturing jobs? He's like, we just laid off all these people from the United States government. I'm like, bro, that is the last people that these companies want manufacturing anything. Oh my god. That is funny. It's funny, my brothers, like they were in like high school when Fall Out Boy was big. So like I remember like MTV being on when I was younger. And then like listening to Fall MTV just like a cycle of like the same 15 songs all day long. In the summer, that's how I remember my summers with my brothers. And I'm the youngest of us, so I have three brothers. Yeah, 3 brothers, 2 sisters. Sorry, not 4 brothers. There's 4 boys, but 8 years older, 7 years older, and 6 years older than me. So I'm by far the youngest. But anyways, that's all they would listen to. We need sweatshops. What do you think will be the trigger for Fed flip to QE? Unemployment rising, and the market growth would have to significantly slow. Yeah. Because I'm telling you what's happening right now. What the concern, and the Fed has a logical reason to be. I mean, even kind of now more than before. Let's say the Fed cuts rates, you will pop. You'll pop for a second. The market will pop, but it's important to understand what's going to happen after that pop. Is it going to be a short-lived, or will it be? Because also too, what do you think the Fed's going to do? Do you think they're going to cut by like a full basis point, like just a flat full basis point, or 0.25 or zero point 0.5. In my opinion, what they would do is they would cut by 0.25, right? That'd be the most logical scenario, right? Let's say maybe they do 0.5. That'd be pretty bullish in the short term, right? You would get a pop, right? Okay. If that happens, let's just say it does. Will that stimulate growth in America? A 0.5 rate cut. And something to think about with that is you look back at what the last rate cut did. When they cut a full basis point. Yeah, they cut 0.5, then 0.25, then 0.2. If it was a full basis point, basically, I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of like second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure it was, okay? And so what did that stimulate? That really didn't stimulate that much growth. Like GDP rose a little bit, but like if you look at what happened, which was funny enough, which was crazy, and honestly, I admit, like I had this, it was not the reaction I thought we would get. You ended up actually right. So the market was totally pricing in those cuts, and then when they actually started cutting, you only went up. I know this because mortgage rates went up. Okay. So important to understand that. Now you're kind of dropping back down, but everyone's like, dude, the Fed's not going to cut rates. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what's happening, right? And so that's what's happening right now. So if the Fed ends up cutting rates, let's just say they do. Like, best case scenario, they cut a full basis point by, let's say July. Let's say by July they do a full basis point. That'd be pretty cool, right? Like you'd be I think everyone would be pretty happy about that. But the question is if tariffs are legitimately here to stay, which I don't know now. Donald Trump has fooled Tyler, because I kind of thought it was like a bluff to get the Fed to cut, but then the more you listen to him, he just bumped up tariffs on China to 104%, and China said, we're gonna see your bet and call it by raising your tariffs by 84%. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, this is crazy. So if they're here to stay, if tariffs are gonna be here, let's say tariffs are here till August, which I think is now being conservative, but we'll see. If they're here till August, do you think that the tariffs will negate the growth potential from cutting rates? And let's say that at a bare minimum, the best case scenario, they negate each other, right? That tariffs, they cause growth to slow down. You have a little bit of a perk up from rate cuts, and they just really don't do anything. The other side of this is inflation will rise. You have to understand that. So even though they can negate each other on growth, right, inflation is still going to rise. And the other part of this is unemployment, in theory, should go down. Then you get to a place of, and again, I might be all over the place. Some people might not be able to follow. But the moral of the story is if you get to a place where growth is not moving in the right direction, up, if it's even flat, if it's flat or going down at all, and unemployment is looking good, you are in an area of high concern of stagflation. And once you get to a stagflation period, history has told us it is difficult to get out of it. Because once you start to use the ammo all the ammo the Fed has, it's pretty I'm just telling you, it's kind of limited. Like, they can, buy some mortgage-backed securities, do this, do that, but end of the day, the big rocket launcher that they have, right, is interest rates. And they have an arsenal right now to cut if they really need to. And we saw what it did back in 2020. But what the Fed doesn't want to do is to cut too fast, and then inflation resurge. And then you won't be able to tell what's from tariffs, and then what's actually coming back from true inflation. And then if you get in that area, then again, you're just repeating the entire cycle. And then to actually get rid of that, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of. And then you'll also be in a period of not only would you be in a period of stagflation, but then you have rampant inflation. So that's what the Fed's thinking about. And if tariffs are legitimately here to stay, you have to really think about why would the Fed push their hand? That's my question, right? Why would they get aggressive too early? Right now they're not taking the blame, right? If you get a bad inflation reading, no one's gonna blame the Fed for the bad inflation reading. They're gonna blame Donald Trump, and it's not even part of the blame game. It's just it's not the smart thing to do. Because again, let's say Donald Trump keeps tariffs until December, and we cut rates by, you know, 1.5 total by like November, right? I mean, then like what's going to get the economy stimulated again, right? That's how you have to think, and it's just like I don't know. Now, if tariffs start to subside and tariffs get to a place to where we're kind of coasting and maybe we're making deals and inflation's rising a little bit and then we start to cut, then you could see a boom in the market. You could see money flood back in because number one, tariffs look like they're coming to an end. You still have a little bit of inflation issues, but you also have decided the Fed's on their side now. Like, yeah. So you also have to realize like this is Trump's like first this is literally Trump's first, what is this? How many days in office? It's like 3 months. Like, so it's a long time to go. So, how did CPI come out? Comes out Thursday. Pretty sure. Pretty positive, right? Thought I checked yesterday. Yeah, comes out tomorrow. So, that's where my head's at, how I'm thinking. And when you listen to the Fed has no reason to start cutting right now. They have no reason. They've said it. They're like, we're gonna. Every time the Fed member comes out to talk, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna listen to data. They're like, well, what do you think? Like, what if this hurts the economy? Oh, we're just gonna wait for data, like we have been for 3 years. I'm like, okay. So yeah. And you got this, and you got like what's crazy is you have like just like straight up ding dongs out there too. Like, and then you have like, I mean, dead serious. You have people like this. Like, look at this. Like, look at this guy. Like, you have people that really think like this too. Like, this is how we've been like, kind of like almost. I don't want to say like I don't know what the word is, but like conditioned. Yeah, conditioned. The first we'll be okay. First recession, then Trump will send out stimulus checks. Like, Trump is not sending stimulus checks out. What are you talking about? The hell? Like, people think that you're gonna get stimulus checks now. Like, again, like that's crazy. Like, but it just goes to show like the mindset of a lot of people. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. So interesting stuff. I definitely think it's interesting. I think people are buying too hard and the Fed's gonna start cutting soon, which the Fed they've given no signal that they want to cut. I appreciate the likes, guys, in the video. Helps out a lot. I don't ask for likes a lot, but I need to ask for more. Appreciate the follows as well. So yeah. But right now, the biggest news on the day so far is that China increased those tariffs on us. So you guys can see. Yeah, so China increased the tariffs on America by, I think, today. Those will go into effect, 84% on all U.S. goods. And then they asked, like, what's on the table as far as America retaliating. And they asked if delisting Chinese stocks is on the table. And they said yes, that nothing is off the table is what they said. People think that $200 check will say, bro, I'm like, what are you talking about? Thinking back, like, first of all, they're not doing no stimulus. Stimulus is not happening. But second of all, you need to also understand, like, go back to 2020 and like remember the stimulus that you were getting, which you're not going to get. If you did a stimulus, you would not get more than you got back in 2020. That would never happen again. But, well, maybe it could happen like in 10, 20 years. But yeah, so remember how fast you went through that money. Like, yeah. If unemployment does go up heavy, I agree. They will cut rate. They will cut. But the problem is they don't want to cut. And yeah, they don't want to. And I understand why they don't because of what I just said. And you have to also understand if you're going to get in a bigger, if they cut too soon, you're going to be in a bigger problem. Because the whole premise of them cutting, the whole bullish idea for them cutting is that if they cut, you're praying that it sustains you and holds you up on the market, right? It's literally a prayer, right? You're praying to God that they cut rates, and then the question again is how much do they cut? Like, do they continue to cut? Do they do one cut? Do they do like 2 cuts and then wait to the reaction? Like, how do they do this, right? So that's a big question, right? So let's say they do, like I said, 1.5%. You're hoping to God that 1.5% sustains you until tariffs can subside. Because I'm telling you, right now, yeah, the market is pricing in like the tariffs impacting the economy. But once you start to see that impact earnings, once you start to see that it start to impact inflation, right? Again, that's not being priced in yet because you don't even know how far these tariffs are going. You don't know. The other part to think about too is what happened last time we cut rates. It's important to realize you cut rates back here in like September, right? Yeah, the first cut was like September, give or take, right? I'm pretty positive. And from September into the election, this is how you moved. Like, very important to understand too. This is the weekly chart, so you end up like gap. Remember, I think you gapped up here after Trump won the election, I believe. Or was it right here? I think it was like right here. So you ended up moving up around. I mean, a good move. Don't get me wrong. Like, this was solid, but like, it wasn't really parabolic. So another thing you have to think about. Yeah. So it's I'm just saying, interesting. There's things you have to just slow down and think about. Like what's the real perks? And like, again, I don't have the answer of like how long tariffs stay in place. I don't have that answer. Like Trump has totally like he has the poker face is out. So yeah. Educational question: approximately how long does it take for news to come out to be priced in the market? I have no idea. Like that's a total like no idea. That's like me saying like how long, like again, not being sarcastic. That's like me telling you like how many times does it take for me to say to tell you something for you to actually like listen to it, right? For everyone, it's going to be different. For every time in the market, it might be different. So yeah, but again, like I said, two things haven't happened. Like the step one has like is happening right now. Well, tariffs are being placed, but then again, tariffs are just rising. Like we're not even setting in a baseline of tariffs. Okay. The second part is we haven't even seen the impact of tariffs yet. So that can't be priced in. That's what I keep telling people. I'm like, the market isn't even pricing in tariffs because everyone thought he was bluffing. And then they all went into effect and everyone's like, oh God, we're going to drop 2,000 points in a day. Like, I'm like, okay, like that should be the most concerning part to you. The second part is how much is it going to impact all your data. But Trump's been saying to move your company to America for like a while, and we'll see what happens. A cut would save us $100 billion when we refinance the debt. Thanks to Yellen screwing us. Again, it's not going to stimulate. I don't think it's going to stimulate the economy as rapidly as you would hope it to do. So I said this guy was over here asking about CPI like 4 times. Anyone in chat? CPI? I'm like, buddy, CPI did not come out today. I don't think I missed any questions, so hopefully I answered all the questions anyone had. Coming back into 17,170, see, you just held support. That's what I was saying too. Like going short pre-market, like no desire to do that. No way, Jose. Are you surprised we haven't hit circuit breakers yet? No, I'm surprised we had multiple like 7% down days. That's what I'm surprised about. You guys are obsessed with circuit breakers. You guys are obsessed with them. You guys obsess over the strangest things. I don't understand. They said, Tyler, I'm not doing anything. I'm not shorting. You can't make me short. I'm not shorting. I'm waiting for the circuit breakers. I'm like, what are you talking about? you just dropped 2,000 points on the NASDAQ. You're waiting for the wrong thing. They said, I'm waiting for the circuit breakers. I'm like, you need to go outside immediately. Costco. I want a YOLO. Wait, what did you say? I want a YOLO in Costco. Oh, YOLO and puts. Pretty sure Costco is one of the most overvalued names out there. I'm pretty positive, which is pretty wild. But yeah, you're below 200 SMA. I mean, 920 is a huge level. Like when we were going long at 1,000, we finally hit 1,000. This was like the longest thing to ever play out. But yeah, 920 was the level you mounted. So it was that previous all-time high. So below 920, I'm pretty bearish into like 896, 900, and then like 874. Under 874 on Costco, I think you're very bearish. I think you look really bad. Really bad. Tyler, what do I do with my short? That was another thing too. Like, bro, like, guys, I also want you to understand. Like, I am the same everywhere. Like if you join Discord, understand I am not gonna like be nicer or coddle you. Like I'm just gonna give you more direct answers of like, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is where I like it. Bada bing, bada boom, no diddy, right? Okay. So when you go into Discord, I'm telling you right now, like if you're like, hey, what happens if short selling gets banned? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you? That's like me asking, like, what if Ebola breaks out all in America and everyone gets it? Like, I don't know. Like, I'll worry about that. That happens. I don't want to think about that. Actually, that's the craziest thing to think about in the world. So people asking me like, hey, Ty, I know you're literally live right now, showing what trades you're doing. What do we do if short selling gets banned? I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, what could we do? Like, what do you like? What is wrong with you? Like, go outside. I'm telling you, like, one of the biggest things that can help all of you and help everyone with doing when it comes to trade. People always ask like, what was the number one thing when you started trading? Whatever, yada yada yada. The number one thing that I started doing when that I think took me from average entry level to anything above that was just stop worrying and stop trying to predict everything that's going to happen. If you're trying to predict what's going to happen, what's going to look good, buy stocks long term, forget about them. Okay, that's it. That's the strategy for that. Okay, if you're trying to make money in a 1 to 3 month period or even a daily period, short term, like I don't care, under 6 months. Okay, stop trying to predict. Stop. Just trade based off the reaction. You're not going to predict it. You don't work at a hedge fund. You probably didn't go to college. You work in, and there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. But it's just understanding that you don't have the edge that the billion-dollar hedge funds do. And if you lie to yourself and think you do because of one trade, then I'm just telling you, you're creating a monster like mistake. So just react to what you're getting. Like, and that goes to everything. To what happens if China increases tariffs by 200%? Well, I'll react to what happens then. You probably will go down, but I'll react. If short selling gets banned, I'll react. If COVID happens again, I'll react. If Donald Trump wins the presidency, guess what? I'll react, right? That's it. Yeah, on so NASDAQ on TradingView, you have to pay. I think it's like $5 for the data. I believe so. Yeah, just go, you pay for it. And then you can get it for free though if you use like a broker. Like your broker should have it for free. Hey, Daishan, please don't yell at me. First of all, second of all, my levels are from multiple time frames. I don't know which time frame each one's from though. Ty, if you was a CEO of a company, I'm not. Would you bring your business back to America? Depends the offer. I'm telling you right now. I am telling you it is no mistake. It is no mistake that the companies that are, I'm telling you, semis are the companies to be buying. Semis are the companies to be buying. TSM, Nvidia. There is a clear reason. There is a clear reason that they are not being hit with any tariffs. No one's talking about it. For some reason, no one's talking about it. Like, people are like, should I be going short in Nvidia? I'm like, dude, no. That's stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. Go outside, touch grass. Just buy the stock, forget about it. That's all you need to do. To come to semis, just buy the stock, TSM, AVGO, Nvidia, whatever you pick your poison. I don't care. Anything that's building in America, I would be loving it. Shout out to McDonald's, right? They're the ones because they're number one. They're going to create like crazy amount of jobs. I'm telling you, they had to have made a deal with America. They had to. There is no way that they did not make a deal with Trump. Daishan, you scaring me for real. But yeah, so yeah, it depends what your business does though. Like, probably not. Like, if I was manufacturing clothes, I probably wouldn't come to America. No, I'd probably still use my cheap labor somewhere else. Maybe I'd build like one factory in America to just sell to Americans and then have the other factories everywhere else. But yeah. Survey shows that most workers purposely moved out of the warehouses and into more office work, bringing a bunch of factories back here and expecting federal workers to pick up. These jobs are crazy. I think that's actually kind of like, I need to do the rundown for Discord, but I think that's a silly thing to say. So you also need to think about the population. So again, I don't care about like the survey or this or that. Um, yeah. So go look at like median pay for some of these jobs and go look at like what's happening in more of factory work and the pay that you're getting there. So if you're not from like maybe like Texas or like Louisiana, you don't really understand. But these specifically like plant workers that like work in energy, chemicals, etc., they probably make some of the most money. They make more money than most college graduates. I mean, granted, their work's a little bit more difficult. That's important to understand. So I do think the next generation, especially with you're seeing this age of kids don't want to go to college now. Like it's the cool thing to not like anyone like that's on the channel will be like I don't want to go to college. Like I'm like okay that's crazy. Like shout out whatever. Like I'm just letting you know your first 2 years typically are on the house. Like so I mean whatever. Like whatever, do what you got to do. But no, I think that's a really that's a silly mentality to have. Yeah, but like, will it be federal workers? I think that was kind of like a silly thing to say. But I'm saying the next generation that's behind us, and that you have this mentality of I don't want to go, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to go to college. Like they're probably going to get pushed into that factory work, in my opinion. But they pay pretty amazing. Typically, like anyone that I know that works like in a factory, chemical plant, they're all making 150 grand a year. They're working crazy hours, but they're making great money. So, kind of don't want to. I mean, I agree. Most people don't, but eventually you come to that point of like, you have to understand. This is the other point of where America is going. You're going to this point of you can't buy a house even in like I think Texas is one of the easier states to buy a house, but it's very difficult to buy a house if you make under $100,000 a year. And so, what's going to get you to that point of making $100,000 a year? You know what I mean? What's going to be the easiest? What's the easiest path to getting to 100 grand, right? And so you might have these ding dongs that are going and working in you know they're trying to do something, not do it, and then they get to this point of like 25, 26, and they just give up, and then that's the only path they can take, right? I'm just telling you, it's a reality. It's all gonna be robotics. I mean, I think robotics is like one of the paths down the line too, but like even Tesla employees, like I mean, you have to. I mean, like there's still people that have to run the back end of that as well, do the maintenance as well. Like those are still factory jobs. Like, so I agree to a certain extent. I do agree, but so autumn drops in my path. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. All right, let's make the rundown real quick. We gotta get ready for market open. Pretty decent bounce here, though, to be honest. Look at this bounce. Probably coming back into 17.32. We'll see. Where's V Whopper? Where's the V Whopper? Dun-dun-dun-dun. But I don't know. People are gonna be different. We'll see what happens, but I think that yeah. I think one of the most encouraging thing for young individuals, and it's good and bad, is like how much money can I make right now? It's the biggest thing that I see. And when I chose the path that I wanted to take of going to college, learn about stocks, YouTube, things like that, like I made no money my first 2 years. I mean, I probably lost the first year. I lost money. I was just in debt. I was just racking up credit cards. So it's important to understand that, and that's a very hard thing to do. And that's not to boost me up or make me feel better. It's just like the reality of it. So, and I think very few. I always tell people like everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. I would say 90% of people that want to be an entrepreneur shouldn't be an entrepreneur. They can't handle the mental stress about it, anything like that. So, yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, so I need to mark these out. It's like I want to read chat while I'm typing. Thoughts on MicroStrategy? I'm surprised MicroStrategy is not weaker. Below the 200 SMA, I think it's a short. Even under 281, but I'm not getting crazy. $19 making $500, $1,000 a day. I mean, the question though, when it comes to trading options, is like, how much do you have like saved up? You know, how much do you have like on the back end to protect yourself if you have a bad week or a bad month? Because you will have a bad month. Like you have to understand that. Like, the best traders have bad months and bad times. Like I do. Like it happens. Like just reality, right? Yeah, Discord link and buy if you guys are interested. Sorry, I gotta make the NASDAQ rundown real quick. It's really crazy though. Like I post like the range and levels here, but like I really need to have like 1,000 point range. Where's your pre-market high? Is that it? 17.4. ES. ES was actually, man, ES was so clean yesterday off of 52.12. That shit was so clean. Look at that level two, that rejection 53, third level up there. That was crazy. That was also nuts. Is Nike gonna break 50? I hope so. I hope so. But this is the chart that I'm telling you right now. Dow, this is the chart. Look at that bounce that you've had here on Dow since this morning. That was this morning. You were down here. You're at the verge of lows. You bounced 500 points. Pretty crazy. Pretty nuts. Man, I saw they made a new I haven't played since like January. Path of Exile. Maybe it was even December. Maybe it was December. I was really into it. I think it was January. Anyways, but I saw they did some updates. Man, looks so much fun. Not trading today or tomorrow. Just past 50K eval. FFN. I don't know what FFN is. Doing well. PoE2. Yeah, PoE2 was pretty fun. Probably one of the most fun games I played in a while. It was just most of my friends who were playing it. They just stopped playing. Like, so I got bored. Yeah, I got bored. Was there any reports? No. Funded Futures Network? I've never heard of it. Bum, 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 bum. So tell me, how does it feel to treat me like you do? But yeah. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. All right, guys. I'm probably gonna wrap it up here. I appreciate it. Be live in Discord here in the next few minutes. I'll get it started up. Appreciate all. You'll be live again tomorrow as well. Video coming on a little bit as well. So have a good one. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.